I don't want them to gain another yard. You blitz all night!
Oh, right now, that's what the New York Giants are doing to the rest of the league. This is Tim, this is New York Giants Straight Talk, powered by Online Big Blue LLC. Want to talk about the Giants, Tommy DeVito. Want to talk about where he's going, what's his trajectory. Also want to put it into a little perspective. Want to talk about quarterbacks in this league that were one-hit wonders. Doing that thing you do. And there's so many of them. I mean, there is a list of quarterbacks. There's a list of, or I should say, there is a lineage or a wreckage of one-hit players, not only in the NFL, but in baseball and basketball and hockey, who have basically shot across the stratosphere in reference to the New York's landscape. But right now, no one does it better than Jersey Shore Tommy.
Wait for the beat to drop.
Oh yeah, like I've said it a million times before, every time I play that Jersey Shore Tommy music, I sometimes think I'm gonna need to go to the chiropractor. I mean, there is just so much that you could say about Tommy, that the way he has revitalized this franchise, the way that he has solidified himself right now in the quarterback picture for the New York Giants. It does give you pause, and it does give you a moment to question the thought processes of Joe Schoen in reference to how he is determining who this quarterback of the future is going to be, because this is the same guy that gave Daniel Jones $160 million. And I remember that. And I remember that clearly. And speaking of remembering stuff clearly, I got to talk about something today. And everyone knows that when I bring on a partner, that it's duly researched, I use the product, and I believe in the product. And right now, you know, I've hinted at it previously, but we got to talk about Magic Mind for a minute, just for a little bit. And Magic Mind, like I said, it looks like, you know what it looks like? It looks like this little green magic bottle. And there's so many things and so many health benefits and just so many things that it just makes you feel better. Everybody knows that I am a coffee drinker, 100%. And one of the worst thing that you could do is just keep drinking coffee, because you know what? You have that crash. And let's just talk about productivity for a minute. When you have that crash, your mind is cloudy because you're coming down off the coffee high, is there a way to replace that? Is there something to do? Oh, well, let me tell you, there's a little miracle that comes in a 2-ounce shot. It's Magic Mind. You want focus, you want clarity, you want the ability to just understand it, improve your mornings, and have you drink less coffee and give you more energy or that energy boost. It's Magic Mind. And like I said, I love this. I've been using this now going on almost 2 weeks. And it helps really improve my clarity. It helps, I can't, you know, everyone knows I'm high strung, but it gives you this feeling that it help reduce your anxiety and your stress. It puts you, you know, what's funny? It puts me in a good mood. There's no jitter. There's no crash. There's no sleepless nights. You're cutting your coffee intake, and I've cut it more than in half now. And like I said, that's the best thing, because too much of caffeine is just not good for you. And you keep plowing that coffee in. What does that do for you? Matcha. Matcha is one of the ingredients in Magic Mind. Way less caffeine than coffee. It contains natural compounds. It extends the benefit of caffeine by slowing your body's ability to absorb it. I mean, it's brilliant. It really is. And like I said, it comes in these little 2-ounce shot glasses. Not even shot glasses. I don't know what you want to call it, but these little 2-ounce magic bottles. I've been using it. I've had friends over to the house who also have been using it. They loved it. You know what I've been doing recently? I like drinking green shakes. I've been taking my bottle and just pouring it into the green shake. Getting that boost, getting that energy, getting that clarity, getting that focus. It's Magic Mind. How much more can I say about this? And if you act right now, you know I always do something for you guys. If you go to the link, which is in the description below, which is also magicmind.com/NYGST, and use the code NYG20, you're gonna get a special discount. I want to kind of tell you what it is, but I don't want to kind of tell you what it is because I want you to go. I want you to do it. I want you to go on their website. I want you to go to magicmind.com. I want you to see what this product is. Now, I'm going to tell you that it's valid for 20% off one-time purchases and also 50% off if you apply to a subscription. Jump on it right now. Get on the train. Get on the Magic Mind train. And again, like I said, it's magicmind.com. You'll see the link. You see the offer code in the description. All natural, science-backed ingredients. Reduces stress. At least it reduces anxiety. Puts you in a good mood. Gets you motivated. Gets you focused. Magic Mind. Magicmind.com. That's always a mouthful, guys. Because you know what? I'm pumped now. You know what? I laugh. I actually did take a Magic Mind shot a couple hours ago because I'm recording this midday, and I didn't have any coffee. I didn't want to have any coffee. I grabbed my little 2-ounce bottle, and I'm rolling. I'm on the day. I feel focused. I'm getting stuff done. Kind of like Tommy DeVito, getting stuff done. He is looking spry. He is looking bright. He is looking focused. But will it last? That's always the big question. Will it last? We all remember Tebow mania. We all remember its ability, how it gripped the entire nation. And we also know how fast Tebow mania just disappeared. And there's been plenty of quarterbacks on the landscape in the NFL that have just fallen off of one season. I always go back to Don Majkowski, the Magic Man, over in Green Bay. Threw for over 4,000 yards. Had his team rolling and rocking. Gets injured. Brett Favre steps in. It was a Wally Pipp moment, and he was gone. You also have to take a look at people like Matt Castle. You know, he had a good season in Kansas City, but it was never the same. Heck, our old friend Mike Glennon. He came in the league like a comet. 3,000 yards, 19 touchdowns, only 9 interceptions. And sadly, that was his best season. That was his rookie year. Tommy Maddox, number 1 draft choice. Flamed out in the league after 5 seasons. Went to the Arena Football League, the XFL. He was there for the inaugural XFL season, which closed down that same year, but he was signed by the Steelers. And he killed it in 2002. He nailed it. But then disappeared. Heck, you even have the likes of Rex Grossman, the gunslinger, Sexy Rexy, who took his team to a Super Bowl and disappeared and vanished. I'm not saying that's what Tommy's going to do. I'm not saying that he is going to be Linsanity. Everyone talks about Linsanity and the run he had in New York. And technically, Jeremy Lin only really had a month-long run in New York because of the fact that you had the injured players that he was filling in for came back. His time and his scoring went down when Carmelo came back. He fell back to earth a little bit. He was averaging like 22 points, but when Melo and them all came back, he went down to 14. Then he had the meniscus issue. But again, it was that meteoric rise. It was that comet. And then he was gone off the New York landscape. He took the poison pill and he went over to Houston. So the question is this: will Joe Schoen look at this like John Elway looked at it in Denver all those years ago? Elway in Denver, of course, saw what was going on with our old buddy Tim Tebow. He knew it wasn't sustainable. Even though they made the playoffs, Denver that was, even though Tebow beat the Steelers and then he got destroyed by the Patriots the next week in the playoffs. They knew he wasn't the guy. They knew he wasn't the full-time answer. They understood this. The question is Joe Schoen under that same process, that same thought process? Does he feel that he can have a quarterback room of Tommy DeVito, Daniel Jones, and X? Because I don't think Tyrod's coming back. And you hope that when he looks at the draft, you have the likes of Caleb Williams, you have the likes of Jaden Daniels, you have the likes of, Drake May, J.J. McCarthy. I mean, you have talent. You have potentially 5 quarterbacks can go in that first round. Does he see this draft as the 1983 draft? Where, of course, you had Marino, you had Kelly, you had Ken O'Brien, you had Tony Eason, you had Todd Blackledge. Does he see it that way? John Elway as well. Does he see it that way? Or does he see it like a 2004 draft? Where you still had Big Ben, You still had Big Ben. You still had Phillip Rivers. You still had Eli Manning. Heck, J.P. Lossman was in that first round too. Matt Schaub went in the second round too. Does he see it that way? Does he understand that? Or does he roll the dice and roll it back one more time with the $160 million man? And these are the things that keep me up at night. Will he do something crazy like that? Will he do something that's going to just be a head scratcher? And you have some fans sitting there going,
What the hell is supposed to do, you moron?
well, that's a good question. I'm going to tell you what you're supposed to do. Like the Daniel Jones contract, like the Daniel Jones mistake, it should never have happened. You have an undrafted free agent and an old timer and the OG QB.
Who's he? The OG QB.
Having more wins than Daniel Jones, being more productive than Daniel Jones. I said it before we even gave him the contract. We don't need Daniel Jones. Go out and get yourself a Mitchell Trubisky. Go out and get yourself an average quarterback. Go out and get yourself a Marcus Mariota. Don't spend the money on Jones. Don't do it. And they did it anyways. And when you have the same results with a journeyman and a nobody, Tommy said, I'm not a nobody. You just didn't know who I was yet. But when you have the same results as a first round pick, a 6th overall pick, a guy you just gave $160 million. Yes, I know 90 is only ever guaranteed. But how do you look at this factor and sit and say to yourself, we're better off with Daniel Jones at the helm? Coming off an ACL, coming off a neck. Yeah, he's going to count for almost 18 to 20% of your salary cap next year, Daniel Jones, that is. But at the end of the day, we've said it before on the show how many times. Will Schoen be bold and let mighty forces come to his aid? That is the big question. Can he do that? Will he do that? I don't know. Because like I said, I question sometimes his thought process and his logic to giving Jones that contract. You almost see the air of hope in Brian Daboll when he had Tyrod and Danny playing. It's you don't, except for outside the allegedly bonehead play against the Bills with Tyrod. You haven't seen those explosions. You haven't seen him throwing an iPad. You haven't seen any disgust. You've seen this sort of happiness, this sort of glee, this sort of ability like, okay, maybe we can win a little. And if the Giants win 7, hell, if the Giants win 8 games, it's going to knock you out of any type of quarterback contention. I've said it before. You don't have to pick up a guy in the first 10. Hell, you can pick up a guy 32nd. Like I always think of Ricky Bobby. Ricky Bobby's dad. When he tells me, no, you ain't first, you're last. Ricky Bobby's dad said, you know what? You could be first, you could be second, you could be third. Heck, you could be 5th. It doesn't matter where you're drafted, and I think Tommy DeVito and the likes of Brock Purdy are proving that. It more proves what you have underneath those pads, what you have, the heart that you have in your chest that beats every day, that helps you drive, sally forward, and move on. That's what you need to focus on. And I've said it in the last couple of videos. You have to just ride this wave that we have in reference to Jersey Shore Tommy.
Wait for the beat to drop.
I would be at the chiropractor because that's 2 in a row. But we know why I'm not going to the chiropractor. It's Magic Mind. Oh, that's going to be fun to talk about for a little bit. I really do want you guys to try it. I really do want you guys to enjoy it. Next live stream, I might give some away. That'll be fun. But at the end of this day, will Tommy be the quarterback of the Giants in the future? The odds are stacked up heavily against him. Heavily against him.
Go with what you are. Have you read the papers? Do you know what everybody says? It's suicide. You've seen him. You know how strong he is. You can't win.
That's what certain fans were saying to Tommy DeVito about Daniel Jones. But you know what? I have all the hope in the world that Tommy can do something. I am not putting all my eggs in the Tommy basket because I do get concerned that he may not be the guy, that he is going to be, you know, a Tyler Thigpen, that he's going to be a Rex Grossman, that he's going to be a 2007 Derek Anderson or even a 2012 Robert Griffin. But I have hopes that he is going to go the opposite direction, that Joe Schoen is going to look at this and say, we can do this. We can understand this. We will figure out the philosophy in reference to the quarterback. We are not going to put our team back in purgatory in regards to the quarterback situation, to the contract. We are not going to fall victim. We are not going to go into the night. We are not going to go without a fight. We're going to move on. And we got a lot of big shows coming up this week, so I want to make sure you stay tuned. A lot of big live streams as well. Don't forget to check us out at NewYorkGiantsLive.com. That link will be dropping soon. And as always, don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to ring that bell, because you want to know why. That'll be awesome.